Hello.
Hey,
We're live.
how's
Sorry,
everyone doing this
bit of technical
evening?
issues. We haven't had many
Oh,
technical issues recently, but go on. Sorry, Reagan,
oh,
I'm jumping.
I think we're on time again, Lee.
Again, I know, we're not running to
Again,
Marcus time.
there's, yeah. It's not. There's been no rush to get this ready at all. No rush at all.
Just been watching football, haven't we?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Snowflake Show, episode 14. I am your co-host Regan Elite.
And I'm Lee Corn, the other bloke.
Okay, I'm gonna keep getting him. I'll always catch him there.
I know, I
It
can't
keeps
do. I don't
happening,
know.
guys.
I don't know what to say. I'm like, what?
And over the next hour or so, we're going to run through the latest UK politics and share some funny and good news stories to share. Hope you've all had a lovely week. It's been getting colder here in the UK. Yeah, as you can see, we're both in the already in the festive period with our Christmas jumpers, as you can clearly see. I would put a Christmas hat on. Only problem is it won't fit with this on my head. So, who we got in the chat, Lee?
Well, Lefty Motor says nobody said it was Christmas jumper day. Do you not get the memo? Sent an email around. There's a Teams chat and everything. I don't know. Yeah, we've got Ginger's Draft says hello. He said my finger still hurts. I don't get the stitches out until this weekend. That sounds painful.
Oh.
Lefty Motor says evening, folks, as well. Duke Vengeance says my head still hurts. Oh, sorry, Duke. Duke's not been well.
I'm sorry to hear that, Duke. Hope you get better soon, mate.
Yeah. So Larry the Cat says good evenings, everybody. Good evenings.
Good evening, Sir Larry the Cat. Still running things while other people bossing other people about there at number 10.
Bullying people, yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Shaw says evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Hi, Ben. And Ginger's Draft said it's colder where you are than where I am. Yeah, it's going to be freezing tonight. It was -2 this morning.
It is. This might shock you people, but I literally only got home from work 40 minutes ago. So, but yeah, managed to get everything. Yeah. Well, nice and toasty and warm. So hopefully you guys are too. So
yeah,
it's another quiet weekly. It's becoming keeps having these habits.
Yeah,
again.
Nothing much happening again.
Yep, nothing much to talk about except maybe some guy trying to put a wardrobe on a London bus or a London tube.
Yeah,
we'll look at later.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, nothing much happening. Prince Harry and Meghan are in the news again, aren't they?
And then we have the entire country possibly going to a whole standstill with all these strikes, which we'll be looking at in just a moment.
But no, never mind. Matt Hancock's giving up politics. So.
Oh, how's he? He's going into full celebrity as well, I suppose. Then.
He said it's opened his eyes to whole new opportunities, which I guess means going into celebrity TV.
Next year he will be on Strictly Come Dancing. People, I can see it now.
Celebrity Big Brother, Celebrity Bake Off, Celebrity everything. Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, just for everybody, just in case I'm talking a little bit different or a bit quiet, I'll have a bit of a sore throat and a bit of a cold. I've had it since yesterday, but if you don't notice it, great. If you do, then that's the reason why I'm probably a little bit different today.
Well, you're not the only one in the wars, because Pineapple Boy says I've got COVID for the 3rd time.
Oh no!
Says, I can't feel my feet.
I'm sorry to hear that, Pineapple. I hope it's nothing. I hope you don't. I hope you get through it quickly, mate.
Yeah. Lefty Water says -3 degrees C here, 24 degrees C on the boat. Nice. Yeah, my loft is a bit warmer tonight. I've got a little tiny fan heater, which I have on just really lowest setting, just enough just to take the edge off it. But it's actually quite warm up here tonight. But it was freezing this morning when I first came in the studio loft.
Right. Shall we get into it?
Yes. Yeah, smell you later, pratty hand on cock, says Sir Larry the Cat. Yes, indeed. Should do the news then. Let's do it.
Yes.
News.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so the
This is a
first.
good
So
one, isn't it?
I'm a bit. I've only just come to light about this news just as much as you are, chat. But yep, the headline reads: UK's first new coal mine for 30 years gets the go-ahead in Cumbria. Oh God, this is terrible.
Well, this is a year ago.
Uh,
Just before we get into it, and probably mention this, a year ago the government said that it was the end for coal. We're never going back to coal. 1 year later,
yeah.
they talk about U-turns, like screeching handbrake.
Yeah. Michael Gove greenlights a £165 million project that will produce an estimated 400,000 tonnes of greenhouse gas emissions a year. The UK will build its first new coal mine for 3 decades at Whitehaven in Cumbria, despite objections locally, across the UK, and from the world. Michael Gove, the Levelling Up Secretary, gave the green light for the project on Wednesday, paving the way for an estimated of £160 million that will create about 500 new jobs in the region and produce 2.8 million tonnes of coking coal a year, largely for steel making. The mine will also produce an estimated 400,000 tonnes of greenhouse gas emissions a year, increasing the UK's emissions by the equivalent of putting 200,000 cars on the road. The vast majority of coal products will be for exports, as most UK steel producers have rejected the use of the coal, which is high in sulphur and surplus to their needs. Where these exports will go is uncertain, as most European steel makers are turning away from the use of coal and adapting green methods such as electric arc furnaces and renewable energy. The government said the mine was possible within the UK climate legislation, which requires the UK to reach net zero emissions by 2015, as operations will shut down by 2049. In a report sent to Gove, the planning inspectorate claimed the mine would have an overall neutral effect on climate change. This, it said, was become the likely amount of coal used in steelmaking would be broadly the same with or without it. A government spokesperson said the coal would be used to make steel that would otherwise be imported if not generate power. Ministers, however, are braced for almost certain legal challenges by those said the decision breaches that target.
So I think my article's a bit out of date compared to yours. But yeah, I mean, so what are they going to do with this coal then? So basically, it's coal that you can't use.
Sorry. Press the news by mistake.
Wrong one. Press the wrong one. I'm not doing well tonight, considering we've had so much time. It's like 2 cock-ups.
GB News difficulties.
Yeah, GB News. Yeah, what are they going to do with it? What's the point? Jesus.
Well, do you know what's the most stabbing thing is the bit I just read a bit. The vast where is it? The vast majority of coals will be produced for exports. Where these exports will go is uncertain.
Exactly. Because the British coal industry, British steel industry is working towards, moving away from coal, as it says there. I was thinking that as I started reading, I'm thinking this doesn't make any sense, and now it doubly doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not as if you're going to use it to fire power stations, because we're trying to replace gas, get away from Russian gas or whatever. You literally just, what's the point?
Yeah, I'm just seeing there just a lot. Just further in the article, just more objections to it. Obviously, yeah, it's goes absolutely against everything we're trying to do. I mean, like they're making the argument that I suppose the argument is Gove, not the whole government, because there's certainly clashes with. I'm certain there's clashes with MPs about this, Tory MPs particular over this. But my assumption, as I didn't read it, I haven't seen it in the article, but their argument is going to be, obviously we need the power, we can't be relying on foreign powers or whatever.
Well, it's not being used for that, though, is it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
So Nicholas Stern, the acclaimed economist who's worked on the climate development and public policy, said the mine would damage into the UK and the world. Open a coal mine in the UK now is a serious mistake. Economic, social, environmental, financial and political, Lord Stern said. Economically, it is investing in a technology of the last century, not this. And that is a wrong path. Yeah, exactly. Use the money for renewables, not old coal.
Yeah.
Socialist is pursuing jobs in industries that are on the way out, creating future job insecurity. Environmentally, it's adding to world supply and thus consumption of coal and releasing greenhouse gases, and there's an urgent need to reduce them. And politically, it's undermining UK's authority of the most important global issue of our times. Yeah, we were the I don't know what you call it, the head of the chair of what's it last year of the COP earlier in the year.
COP26 was it
Yeah,
Glasgow?
yeah, and
Yep.
saying that everybody has to move away from coal and coal's done and all this sort of stuff. And here we are opening a new coal mine. I mean, it
I
just
mean, I
doesn't.
know. I know. Is it? I believe it's Poland that that heavily relies still on coal for their economy and for their energy. I could be wrong on that. I believe it's Poland, but the problem for them is that they haven't been able to. I don't know if it's a money problem or what. They haven't been able to switch or whatever. But like, there's no logic behind this. I mean, there's always. I mean, we've already got enough things to whack the government with as it is. I mean, there's so much on them already, but this is just kind of like, I mean, there's no way this is going to happen. Never mind just the legal challenges. I mean, when they were getting to power, they're probably going to scrap it anyway, and it's just going to cost taxpayers money to scrap the project when it's starting.
Yeah, have to pay off the companies that they're given a license to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just some Tory donor is probably making quite a bit of money out of it, or set to make a lot of money out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do people in the chat think of it?
Yeah. What are they saying?
So Casper Northern
Good
says, "Hi
evening, Mad
everyone."
Monk. Good to see you
Mad
there.
Monk's here. Yeah. Oh, you actually made it tonight. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Welcome.
No steal, no chance, says Hugh. Absolutely, Thomas. Yeah, absolutely.
So Larry the Cat says the maggot snatcher will be turning in her grave. She loved coal mines. Zebediah Thomas. Local coke or coke from China on a boat. Think about it. Yeah. Well, China does use a lot of coal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Larry the Cat says there's no assumptions about this. Exactly like the argument for fracking, it will go on exports and do nothing for the UK's economy. But do dream on. That's it. Yeah.
So Larry the Cat says, "You think this coke will go to the steelyards? Better off reading Alice in Wonderland." Hugh says, "Assumption." Oh, Hugh Zebediah Thomas is here. Hi, Hugh. Assumption is the mother of all FK ups. Yeah. Mad Monk says, "Listen to the Scottish First Minister." What's Nicola Sturgeon said about this? Has she said anything? I mean, it's in Cumbria, isn't it? But
when did this article drop? Because I didn't hear
today,
anything on PMQ, so I'm assuming this was
today.
around about the afternoon. I'm assuming
because they were talking about it this morning because you reckon it's going to cause eruptions in the Tory party because a lot of MPs aren't happy but don't want it. Some Tories want it, some didn't. Yeah, Zona says, "Howdy, Snowflakes."
Evening Hugh, sorry, and Chatty Rat.
Chatty Rat,
for those
Chatty
who are coming in.
Poland is still a big coal producer, and a lot of miners' jobs depend on it.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I've heard about it before.
Hugh says thorium nuclear reactors is the way to go. Yes, if they can refine the technology, yes, it would be the way to go. It's a lot cleaner and safer than normal than the current regular nuclear reactors we've got. Aki's Mad's here. Evening, Lee Regan. Hi, Aki's.
Evening, Aki's Mad. Hope you're well. Yeah, I mean, just wait. Again, another means of wasting taxpayers' money. I mean, it's just move. Like, stop living in the past. Move on. Move to the future. Like why? You know, it's just.
Zona says there's a main story on Channel 4 News this evening, so yeah, we're kind of a bit behind on it, so I haven't need to catch up on that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't none of it makes any sense why they would do that.
Yeah, absolute waste of money, waste of time, waste of resources.
Should we move on to the next article then?
Yeah, let's jump right into the next article. Don't think there's any more to add on it.
Right. Okay. So.
Oh dear.
Yeah, this is fun. Christmas travel hit by new strikes as border force sets for airport walkouts. Do you want to read this one?
You can do this one, just
okay.
because I'm worried about my voice.
Okay. The head of the PCS union says his members are living in poverty and warns industrial action will escalate if the government doesn't get round a negotiating table. Border Force workers across UK airports and ports will take strike action on key dates in December as the union calls for the government to come back to the negotiating table. Strikes will take place between the 23rd and 26th of December and from 28th to the 31st of December, impacting Birmingham, Cardiff, Gatwick, Glasgow, Heathrow, and Manchester airports, as well as the port of Newhaven. Officers taking the action will be responsible for checking the passports of people arriving into the country. Comes amid a raft of strikes set to hit the festive travel with industrial action organised by train, bus, and road workers in the run up to Christmas and throughout the holiday season. But the pickets are not limited to transport, with teachers, nurses, and ambulance workers, among others from the public sector, taking action over pay and conditions. The Public and Commercial Services Union said they were taking their action due to rows with the government over pay, threat of job cuts, and changes in pension rules. They're calling for a 10% pay rise, better job security, and no cuts to redundancy terms. General Secretary of the Union, Mark Silwatka, said 40,000 of its members were having to use food banks, while 45,000 were claiming in-work benefits. This is a crisis, he said. We've tried for months to renegotiate with the government, and we have been ignored. We kept being told the government has an open door, but there is no point the door being open if there's nothing behind the door. The public sector have no option other than to take industrial action because our members currently are skipping meals, not being able to put the heating on at home because of the poverty they are living in. Yeah. So, just looking at the strikes. So this is a look at December.
That's from Sky News, isn't it?
Yeah, from Sky News. So you can see there where all the different. This has actually changed actually while I was looking at it. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to refresh that just see if it's it's updated there. I think.
God.
These are the strikes so far that are planned. So yeah, the Christmas period at the moment looks okay. Although I'm sure there were dates on those. Only the 27th and 28th are free that I saw. 28th and 29th. Well, there's going to be strikes all over. And the government just seems willing to just kind of let them happen. And they'll probably use it as a stick to beat Labour over the head with.
I don't know I don't know how much more people are going to take. So I had I was speaking briefly with a colleague at work, and she's we don't talk politics because she's a big conservative voter. She's quite in a late age, and yeah, it really infuriated me when we were talking about the doctors and nurses going on strike, and she basically, without what I was explaining to her, but her side of the story is basically it's their fault. It's their fault they're going on strike. And she in no way blames the Conservative government for any of this. And I'm just like, they've been in power for 12 years. She says, and her argument says it's nothing to do with the government. I was just like, they're the ones running the country. And I don't like talking politics with her at work because it's just, yeah. It triggered me so much because it shows that yes, I know she's an older generation, but it shows that there are still people out there who generally believe that this is doctors and nurses' fault, that it's their fault that we are having these strikes, that it's their fault that they're, for some reason, that they're not spending their money properly, or that they don't have enough doctors and nurses to look after people or ambulance staff. It's their fault. And yet what they fail to realize is that none of this, and this is the point I made to work. I said, none of this happened before 2010. We had no issues before 2010. So how do you explain that? And she wouldn't even debate me with it. She just ignored the answer. And it's just like her loyalty to the Conservative Party goes above and beyond everything. And that's what some people are. They don't care. They will blame anyone or anything, but they will not blame this party under any circumstances. And I cannot. I was so angry, and I just feel like people are still going to vote Conservative, and people out there generally think it's the NHS's fault that this is happening when they are not seeing they're not seeing that it is basically that, as far as they're concerned, they hear money going into the NHS. They hear the money's going in there. They know, they're
It's
aware of there's
increasing every
shortages
year.
of doctors and nurses.
Yeah.
They're aware of that, but they don't know. I mean, I could be wrongly, but not everybody knows that money going into the NHS is going straight out into private sectors. Not everybody's going to know that.
Or
So for some
the
people's
money has to
mindset,
go, the money has to go up every year just to stand
yeah,
still with NHS. So every year they say we put in record amounts into the NHS. Well, yeah, you have to just to stand still. You could even put more money in this and go backwards, which is probably what's been happening. But when, like you say, businesses are creaming the profits off the top of it, then yeah, less money is actually going into care and health. But sorry,
yeah,
go
the
on.
average. Yeah, I was just going to say the average Joe is not going to know that. Yes, us here and us in the chat, yeah, we're aware of it because we read and listen to politics all the time. But the average person on the street's not going to know that. As far unless they really pay attention, as far as they're aware, it's the NHS's fault for not running properly. And it's there are some people who are, as we have heard them, I have heard them, who support the strikes, but there are generally some people out there who think, like, what are you doing? Get back to work. That's how some people think it is, or that they need to pull up their laces, and it's just for me, it's absolutely mind-boggling.
Well, bear in mind these people are reading stuff like GB News and probably watching GB News, probably watching Talk TV, or reading the Express or the Daily Mail, and it's just being pumped into them all day long.
Yeah,
or even an LBC, and it's by some presenters, like what's his name, first thing in the morning, Nick Ferrari. That it's all they should get back to work. It's all their fault, and they already get paid enough. You're not going to get a 11% pay rise or 18% pay rise. So why should nurses? Completely ignores the fact that most of them haven't had a pay rise in years and had pay freezes and all the rest of it. And so they're actually even some of these what seemed like quite big pay rises are just inflation level pay rises, which are only just basically keep them standing still, but don't account for the 3 years or however long it's been since the last had a pay rise. And a lot of these things aren't just about pay; they're also about like working conditions and safety and all sorts of things on the trains, and different services. But yeah, it's I think that's the thing with the reason why some of these people will believe it or will say that is because we've had since well, yeah, and plus since Thatcher, he's basically been the pitched the Tories against the public, and Tories have pitched the unions against public, and they've worn down the rights to strike and all these other things, and to the point where now it's like it's almost it's seen as like a negative to be a member of a union and all these sorts of things. And so they basically demonized unions to make it, and so when they do go on strike, they can just everybody turns against them. Like what's his name? James O'Brien keeps saying, the point where he realised things were wrong was when people were complaining about striking firefighters. Firefighters, last thing they want to do is go on strike, but they had to do it to try and sort out the pay and the conditions. As a last resort, as striking a last resort. But when you got to the point where everybody's striking, most of the public sector is striking or looking to go on strike, then the Tories have broken the country basically.
Yeah, some people are just in complete denial of it, which is it's infuriating. It's really infuriating. I mean, you just look at that calendar in front of you guys. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous that people don't want this, but But there are some. I mean, as I said, there is obviously some people who think this is outrageous and ridiculous. But obviously, there are genuine people out there who understand and know there's a cost of living crisis, and know people can't afford to put on their heat, to pay for their bills, to be able to feed their families, and the fury for me is that the government are just sitting on their hands with this, and if I'm like, even for those who support the strikes, and you're not into politics or whatever, and you must be thinking to yourself, someone who's not even into politics whatsoever, and you're thinking to yourself, why is the government just allowing this to happen? Why are they letting it sit on this? I mean, it's just insane. People want to, Christmas time is one of the most important times of the year. It's going to hurt retail. Never mind, just family and friends, right? This is going to hurt retail businesses because this is where they make the most money. Yeah, because retail is going to get hammered hard this Christmas, because of not just because of strikes, but because people are already struggling to make ends meet as it is. People who travel to see families and that, they're not going to be able to do that, or it's going to be near impossible because of obviously certain trains, certain buses. People even traveling from France over or to France or whatnot. All these things are going to be affected, guys, and it's just and regardless of how people feel about the other political parties, like, no, as long as I just don't think, this is something that Labour, the Lib Dems or Greens, or even as right wing as Reform UK, I just don't see. I mean, again, I could be wrong about Reform. Don't know enough about them, but it's just, how can these Conservative MPs just sit there and allow this to happen is just beyond me. It is just so selfish of them. They are so selfish to sit there and let this happen to our country. And if they had any shed of decency or care or humanity in them, they would do something about this instead of just sitting there and allowing this to happen.
So look in the chat. So Mad Monk says, that's my calendar for my dominant days. Good on you, Mad Monk. Slarry the Cat says they call it the winter of discontent, but for the Tories it's the winter of incontinence, and they are crapping themselves. 12 long years, says Hugh. Duke says the Tories have no business being in charge anyway. Richie Snake has not been voted in, so he's not the PM. We should have had a general election when Boris won. Yeah,
exactly.
And I think that that needs to be addressed in this. What Labour's talking about, the reforms they're looking at. That definitely needs to be addressed. If there's a change of leadership or government, then it has to be put back to the public in a vote. The Tories seem unable or unwilling to connect the dots between the Tories doing something and the NHS getting worse. Yeah, there's a lot in the public who are the same. Chatty Rat says the government as employees should be sitting down with public sector unions. Yes, and what they're doing is they're basically going, it's nothing to do with us. It's down to the people running that sector, whether it's train operators or NHS, different NHS trusts. They're just basically absolving themselves of any responsibility, even though they're the ones actually holding the purse string and allowing and saying that they can spend the money on this. But yeah. Panel Boy, take control of the narrative. Your options are A, the state of public services, B, a culture war against unions. Yes, culture war against unions is easier.
Good evening, number 3.
Evening.
Here.
Pedulous this evening. Good evening, all. Bonsoir. Bonsoir, Pedulous. Bonsoir. So Larry the no, sorry. Ginger's Giraffe says,
says General Strike.
Yeah. Remember when
we don't strike, we moan. That's our problem with Brits. Yeah, we need a general strike very badly, Duke, but we don't strike, we moan.
I think the thing is, you see, back in the 70s and 80s, you could actually have unions used to go out in sympathy with other unions. So, from different industries, and the government and the Thatcher government basically made that illegal. So it's difficult to organise a general strike. I don't know how you would do that, unless they all just organise strikes.
Hi, Cash Dummy. Good to see you guys.
Day. But yeah. Hugh says, on the 5th day of Christmas, that Tory gave to me 5 lumps of shit. 5 lumps of shit. Sorry, yeah. They're all delusional by default.
Don't worry, I'm sure someone's going to have a perfect Conservative Christmas Carol at Christmas time is coming, guys. Don't you worry.
We're all number 3 says we're all delusional by default, born that way. We have to be taught about reality. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you've managed to
Let's
eat
hope for
something good.
change, guys. That's the main thing. Let's hope for change.
Yeah, Kendra's here. Good evening, Kendra. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening, Kendra.
We've got Doug's here as well. Evening, Doug. We've got one of Doug's poems later on as well. Cash Dummy's here. Good strategy is General Strike. Oh, did you ever mention Cash Dummy? Sorry,
That's all right. It's fine. There's so many wonderful people in the chat.
Yeah, Aki's mad.
We really do appreciate it. But yeah, we share your frustration. You know, these strikes. We can only hope that people get the pay they deserve and people are able to afford a living. You know, that's the main thing. So that's the most important thing. Then Christmas is people being able to make a living.
Right, should we move on to people making a living? Is quite ironic for the next article.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, people. Oh dear.
Please get
Donations
your
to the Tory party slumped 40% over a 3-month period. Oh dear, chat. How terrible.
Do you want to read this one, yeah?
I'll read a little bit. I won't read too much.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So, donations to the Conservative Party slumped by 40% over 3 months, according to the figures from the Electoral Commission, which shows the party being overtaken by Labour for the first time in more than a year. The Conservatives collected just $3 million from July to September, a period that included the end of Boris Johnson's premiership and the subsequent leadership election, compared with the $5.4 million from the previous quarter and its lowest figure since mid-2020. Donations to Labour have jumped nearly a quarter to $4.7 million, boosted by spending from unions and individual donors. A Labour spokesperson said donors are coming back to Labour because they can see we are a change party that is serious about getting into government and building a fairer, greener and more dynamic Britain. We are very grateful for all the support, large or small, as we gear up to fight the next general election. Conservative spokesman said the Conservative Party only accepts donations from reputable sources, namely individuals registered on the UK electoral roll and registered companies. Donations are properly and transparently declared by the Electoral Commission, open by them, and fully comply within the law.
What?
Yeah.
What? What a load of bollocks.
What a load of tosh, shall we say.
Bollocks is legal.
Oh, chat, what a shame. 40% of their money is just drained away. Oh, dear.
Oh, they're saying that as a party source added that these figures are likely to be anomalous because of the leadership election during the period. At the time, Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak raised more than $400,000 for their leadership bid, close to the maximum threshold of $500,000. So basically, they're saying the party itself didn't get any donations or got fewer donations because the money was going to Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak for their leadership bids. I mean, basically, they spent £1 million between the two of them. Nearly £1 million between the two of them, but just to woo members of their own party. How ridiculous!
Yeah. Any Russian donors jump ship? Who knows, Larry? Who knows? We'll have to ask Putin
others,
next
however,
time he does an open talking.
Here we go. Others, however, continue to donate, including Lyubov Chernykin, the wife of the former Russian oligarch Vladimir Chernykin. She gave £37,000, having previously donated more than £2 million to the party.
No connection whatsoever, the Conservative Party spokesman will say.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this is funny. Meanwhile, the Conservatives also continue to benefit from an unusual donation by Heather Coffey, who died 2 years ago and left hundreds of thousands of pounds to the party in a will. So far, her bequest has handed the Tories nearly £1 million since 2020. Labour's figures boosted by 1.6 million in donations from unions and 1.5 million in individual donations. Among the donors was Gareth Quarry, a former Conservative donor who announced in October he defected to Labour, accusing the Tories of being riven with arrogance and complacency. He gave the fifth party £50,000 during the period. I wonder if he's hoping for a peerage, because that seems to be the way. You know, I think it's.
Boris said, "Peerage, don't be so silly."
Yeah.
Oh dear. 40%, guys. What a shame. Oh, if only we could put that money to such a
Should we
good cause.
just hang on a sec. Just let me get out of the case. I'll just play a tune on the world's smallest violin for the Tories. Can you hear it? There you go.
Let's hope those donations continue to drip away.
Yeah.
And obviously, it wouldn't surprise me if some of those people were donating to Labour now. Let's hope they don't have too much of an influence in the Labour Party. I do fear they will try to get some influence in there, but hopefully not enough that will destroy the country. Well, even though we're already destroyed, but they could do something to bring it back together. Some kind of Britain back together at some point.
Ken just
Without
says,
Scotland, of course.
Yeah, Ken just says Christmas jumper's out already. Yes. Christmas jumper at work day tomorrow, so we thought we'd.
I hope you're not disapproving.
I've got, just in case you didn't see before, I've got my Aldi Christmas jumper on. So,
yep.
I was going to put my little one on afterwards. I'm going to do half and half. Half Aldi.
If you guys must know, this one is Star Wars. It's the AT&T. So that's nice for all the Star Wars fans if they're into that.
I like the Empire logo on the sleeve as well on yours.
Yeah, very nice.
I've got snowflakes all over on mine, so maybe someone posted earlier.
There we go.
Pineapple Boy says donations slump. Have the Russians run out of cash then? Yes. Apart from that.
Oh yeah, they are running out of cash. The problem is they're giving it to Saudi Arabia. That's what they're doing because they're giving it because they give their oil to Saudi Arabia, and then Saudi Arabia pass that oil on to Western countries to make it look like that they're being sanctioned.
Cash Donny says,
allegedly.
Pineapple Boy, Putin said we will from now on only donate in rubles. There you go. The remaining 60% was from Michelle Malone. Is it Michelle Malone, or was that
something
Michelle
like that? Yeah.
Says Kendra. Just getting the world's tiniest. Oh, just say hello to the cat. Yeah, sorry, you beat me to it. Just getting the world's tiniest violin out after seeing the donations of the Conservative Party or something. Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yes, my monk. Yeah, so there's this was mentioned in the new SNP leader of at Westminster, pointing out that there's just a new survey came out this morning, showed the
56%.
56% for independence. Yeah. So my mum says donations to the Tory party is down 40%, the independents up to 56%. I say that's a good trade.
Yeah. Good evening, Dave Blase. Hope you're well.
Guys, I've got to say I get you mixed up like Ant and Dec. Sorry. Oh, you got us. I do the same with Laurie and Paul.
It's the jumpers, Mad Monk. That's what it is. It's the Christmas jumpers. It's okay. By the way, we're not always going to be wearing Christmas jumpers.
By the way, Stockport are winning 2-1. Or they were a minute ago. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on
very important game
that FA Cup replay.
League keeping an eye on.
3-1 penalty, 81 minutes. Will Collar's got an hat-trick. Oh, brilliant. Come on. It's on ITV4 if you don't want to watch us.
Yeah, never mind the World Cup.
Caston will still be able to afford Mark Francois's personal pepperami. Will he downgraded to Aldi's own brand? How cheap can fabricants wig get? Yeah, he won't be able to buy Monster anymore. Monster any drink. He'll be buying Blue Cow or whatever it's called from the local corner shop. Or Aldi or Lidl or something, yeah.
Oh dear.
Deli Blase's here. Hi, Deli Blase. Good evening, all. Hope everyone is well. Zona says, I saw little jumpers, but who would give free advertising to them? Me.
Well, it could be worse. It could be wearing a Greg's Christmas jumper, to be fair.
Yeah, the Christmas sausage roll one.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yes. And we just want to make sure I don't miss anybody, blah, blah, blah. Leading Charlton win. Stockport are winning 2-1. Mad Monk. 3-1, sorry. 6 minutes into injury time. So, it looks like we're through. 18 shots to 5 on 6 on target, 1 on target for Charlton. Absolutely murdered them tonight.
Okay, football pundit.
Yes, sorry. Well, Mad Monk asked the question, so I'm just replying to Mad Monk.
Yeah. It's a very important question.
Lefty Boat is a very important notice there. If you haven't hit the like button, you're a Tory. So hit that like button and prove that you're not a Tory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what should we do now? Oh, we'll do Lee Scott's dog as a little poem about the
He
World Cup.
does.
So listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Bear me a second, sorry. Here we go.
Footballing values and the colour of money, otherwise known as rainbow rights. FIFA have now taken a stand that nobody can countermand, but their ruling ain't funny because Qatari money demands rainbow armbands must be banned. Some say that it's thanks to Sepp Blatter that countries like Russia and Qatar were encouraged to host the World Cup. FIFA's boast was politics never should matter. Because FIFA must put the game first. They work hardly and need reimbursed. Envelopes stuffed with notes, pleading, give us your votes, were so well received that their lips pursed. So there can be no contemplation of ethical matters fixation, on cultural mores, Qatar's national stories, not one of a proud rainbow nation. FIFA's rulebook needs many rewrites, as their host Qatar takes apart rights. It's of great importance to FIFA their sports stance, valuing footballing apartheids.
There we go.
Very nice, Doug.
Very good.
Very nice
good,
indeed.
So
Thank you,
we've
Doug.
missed Doug's poems. You haven't done one for a few weeks, so
Yeah, great to hear it.
yeah. Right, so we're changing pace now. No more politics for the time being.
Yes, let's move away from politics.
I'll let you do this one.
Where are we going?
Do you want to do this one? Did you pick
Aha! Oh, nice little story. So this is from America. Some of these stories are quite familiar in America when they happen, but I wanted to share one because we haven't shared a story like these. But Army son surprises mum at a high school pep rally after a 2-year deployment. So in January 2020, retired Atlanta Police Department officer L.J. Williamson thought she was being recognized at a pep rally for working with a local program to help kids in need, but she had no idea she was in for a bigger surprise. While Williamson stood on the court, her eldest son, U.S. Army spec Shakir Aquil, if I said that right.
Aquil, is it? That might be Aquil.
I'll say Aquil. If I misspell it, correct me. Ran into the Farrell High School pep rally to surprise her after a 2-year deployment in South Korea. As soon as Williamson saw Aquil 22, she ran into his arms and the two shared a long-awaited embrace. Although filled with joy, the officer's honest first thought was, "Why did you do this to me?" I don't like showing emotion in front of people. I try my best not to, he told Good Morning America. As a police officer, you're expected to be stern, and I thought, why did he do this in front of all these people? It was the first time that she got to hug her son since December 2017, when he returned home when his grandfather died. Williamson said she was so happy upon reuniting with Aquil. The soldier is a chief in the U.S. Army who left for basic training in Oklahoma after graduating high school. He then went to Virginia for further training and to Seoul in South Korea. Williamson admitted that she emotionally struggled when Aquil was first deployed. I cried for about a month, she recalled. This baby that I had when I was a baby, it was just 18 when I had him. We kind of grew up together, and I felt like a part of me was displaced with him being so far away. Aquil said his mum was his best friend and said that he also had a hard time being so far away from her. Honestly, it was pretty heartbreaking. I'd see other people with their parents, even in movies, and it was a very sensitive part, he said. She made everything amazing in my life. She tries her best. When Aquil learned that she would be getting time off before being stationed in Seattle, he decided to give his family a homecoming surprise, something that has been his lifelong dream. I've always wanted to do it. Ever since high school, when I was looking into the army, I always watched the homecoming videos, he said. I've been planning this for years. Aquil tricked his mum into believing that he was coming home to Atlanta on January 22nd, but the truth was he was arriving a few days earlier. He then coordinated with Farrell High School officials and one of his mother's close friends and a few school resource officers to arrange the surprise. After travelling 19 hours from Seagull to Atlanta, Aquill made his first stop at his little brother's school to surprise him in class. Then the siblings went to their grandmother's house and surprised her before making their way to high school. The school played the footage of Aquill congratulating Williamson on her recognition. "I'm proud of you," he said in the clip. "We've got one more week." But it was only 1 more minute. The boys' basketball team ran out to the court and Aquill trailed behind them. Aquill said he felt nervous before the surprise, and only his second thoughts were he had going through with it because he wanted to see Williamson sooner. "I didn't even want to wait for the pet rally. I just wanted to see my mum," he said. But the surprise exceeded his expectations. "It took me by surprise, and almost more than a surprise for her," said Aquill. The family danced, sang, cooked, and hung out together during the 21 days that Aquill was at home. Williamson looked forward to tasting his excellent cooking, especially his lobster tail.
Should we have a look at this, the video of it?
Yeah, let's have a look. Love stories like this.
I'm here to surprise my mom. I haven't seen her in 2 years, but I did a year in Korea. So this is exciting, highly anticipated, and just glad to get as much support as I got. So yeah, I'm nervous.
November 8th, my life changed drastically. I went from being a single man to raising 3 kids. And the day I found out that following Monday I brought my kids up here, the first person that I spoke to was LJ. I was coming to talk to Miss Powell, but Miss Powell wasn't in the building at the moment. And I talked to LJ and I shed a few tears because I didn't know what I was going to do. Now, I've grown within these last few months, but from the beginning, since it started, she's been in my corner from the beginning. She's asked me, "Do you need babysitters? Do you need anything? Just know that I'm here for you." So that right there alone shows that she has a caring heart. So I want to say thank you with everything in me for helping me. Now, my kids were able to go to this $300 event. Now, I had a 12, an 8, and a 4-year-old at home. Okay, so you can only imagine what type of toys they brought in the house. It's still trying to find places to put everything. But still, regardless, just for her thinking of me and my time of need like that, I'm forever indebted to you, and I'm grateful for you, and I thank you for everything you've done for me. So, with that being said, we have one more person that wants to say thank you to you. So I need you to watch this video.
Getting an award and everything, and I just want to say I'm proud of you, and just thankful for what you do for me and Justin. And I know you haven't seen me in 2 years, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in enough time to support and see your award. But just know that I want to make this video very special, and this day very special. Love you, Mama, and
He hasn't seen him yet. That's lovely.
That's nice, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Yeah. It goes
So
on quite a
good.
bit, so won't play the whole thing. We get a copyright
Yeah.
strike anyway.
You see a lot of these homecomings, so it's yeah, they have a lot of homecomings in America. It's great.
Yeah.
Great story, guys.
Just in the chat. I'll stop put 131 by the way, just to let you know. So we get to play the mighty Walsall in the next round. Yay! Bloody football for. So I think there was something I saw. Notice I'll see. I've cancelled Christmas since both parents passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. Was that this year or was it in the past? Yeah, so really sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry.
Aki's Mad said, missed out on some of the chat peeps trying to recruit some new bodies. PS bad news, I've cancelled Christmas, can't be asked. Oh, Sorry, Yakis. Well,
I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of people obviously are having to cancel Christmas just because they can't even afford it.
yeah.
Yes.
Notice also says, did you show the Ukrainian soldier doing Pikachu stuff? No. I need to. I saw that. Maybe I'll just have a quick look at that. But
You want to play the next clip while you have a look?
yeah. So nobody else says no. Recently, parents died years before pandemic. Okay, all right.
Oh, that's.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Anyway, it's not nice. But...
Yeah, it's never nice to hear those stories.
Anyway, hopefully this will cheer you up because this is funny.
Yeah, God's sake, funny.
There's no more Christianity in the church.
Mm.
That's what I've called about.
Yeah.
It's gone woke. Wokeism.
Oh, Jerry.
Church of woke.
Jerry. Oh,
actually.
God.
Do you know the sort of characters they're letting in now?
No.
Do you know the Gunnosaurus?
What's the Gunnosaurus?
Gunnosaurus is the mascot of Arsenal Football Club.
Sorry, what?
I've seen on Facebook that they let him into a church, and let me tell you, he's not a Christian.
Oh my goodness.
He's a green dinosaur.
That's disgusting.
Guardian readers.
Guardian readers, especially, I think, are a really dangerous breed. You know, people don't understand. People think they're sort of harmless with their little, because they've got a TV section, but no, they're not.
I look around Tesco. I look around the post office. I see no Christians.
Oh my goodness.
I think I've said, raise your hands. Who's Christian?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Not one.
Nothing
at all.
And there was more than 4 people.
No.
Yeah.
And I bet they were all old. I bet they were all old people, weren't they? And half of those probably had dementia, so don't know.
Exactly, and that's what wokeism has done.
Yeah. What dementia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I need to listen to the full podcast of that because it looks really good. Sorry, I just put the wrong one on there.
I do love I do love those podcasts. Rosie's such a good community.
So they had Larry and Paul on there last week as well. So
yeah,
very good. I did manage to find a Pikachu dance. I'm just gonna see. Should we have a quick look at it then? As we're
yeah, we can have a quick look.
There it is.
Hopefully, it'll be all right to play. I say 26.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
Wait, it's still.
The guns in the background. Very good.
Fair play. Love it. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. So, what are people saying in the chat about the PQQ dance? The church, number 3 says the Church of Woke. I'm tempted. Royce in Malone's here.
Let the power of Christ compel you, number 3.
The power of woke, not Christ, woke.
Oh my! Christ and wokeism.
Royce in Malone says hi all, hi. Solari Cat says
hi Rosie.
Laugh out loud at all those tofu eating Guardian reading Wokerati. Who's that?
Yeah, that's right. Those tofu eating Guardian reading
Who are those people? I don't know. Ken just says, I put some up and started eating my advent calendar. Well, I tell you the chocolate, not just the whole
advent
box.
calendar.
Just eat the box, the whole thing. Juven just says, I'm so confused. Yeah, I think is that a Pikachu one? Or is it, there's the woke brand.
Might be the Pikachu one.
Yeah, no.
Might be the Pikachu one.
Yeah. Zona said, I thought I recognised her. The reactions to it from the USA far right are most hilarious. Nobody else says, that's all right, okay. So they going mad, saying why is he dancing in the thing where the gun's running out, or what is it? Is that what it is?
Right. So they're not allowed to have a little bit of fun. Sorry, everybody's entitled to a bit of fun, even in the most darkest of times.
Duke Vengeance says, "Where am I? What day is it? It's Wednesday. It's the Snowflake Show. You can tell because I've got the snowflakes.
Yes.
And so's Regan over there.
Yeah. Shall we jump into the next story, Lee? I think
next story, yes. This one looks good actually. I must admit.
Yeah. You guys might find this a bit bizarre. So the headline reads: Cornish residents bummed out after B&Q names toilet after their town.
You've heard of IKEA naming.
I'm gonna read the article, but I didn't get, there wasn't as big as a backlash as you would expect. You would have thought so, but
okay. You hear IKEA naming stuff after like weird towns in Sweden or whatever, but
so the rivalry between Cornish towns and villages can be quite pronounced, but those on each side at the camel trail insisting that theirs is the best. But has the friendly competitive turned foul? Some are now wondering exactly why one major town in the country has now have the honours of having a toilet named after it. You can now hop onto the B&Q website to buy a Bodium closed couple toilet with the standard closed seat. Residents may not be too flattered by the town becoming the namesake for the bog standard piece of plumbing. And they find the comparison even more smelly when they realise that it's at £75, one of the cheapest on sale and not one of the highest quality en-suite experiences. It can be bought alongside a Bothman full pedestrian bastion for just 130 in total, which is quite a good deal, to be fair. Bodmin, which has a population of around 16,500 people, is the 7th biggest town in the city of Cornwall, and its historical importance as former county town is the only Cornish settlement to be entered in the Domesday Book. However, parts of the town are far from the postcard tourist ideal of Cornwall, with the town centre listed among the top 10% most deprived areas in England. B&Q states its open black closed couple toilet from Blomshire Bodsman ranges comes with a standard closed lid, while C this also includes dual flush. Blah 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 blah. So some were quite happy with one saying toilet is pretty average, but the flush seal doesn't seal, meaning water flow goes into the bowl and the cesium refills every check. There are no fixes to fixes. Basically complained about the toilet there. Let's go down. I'm just looking for the bit where they.
By comparison, that bit.
No, I was looking for what B&Q's response to it. So, a B&Q spokesman said, "Beautiful Bodium, we're not being cheeky. We think you're great. Our Bodium toilet was named from a buyer from Cornwall who loved their hometown so much they decided to name a number of ranges after Cornish and Devon towns."
The toilet.
I'm not seeing much of a backlash from the town on it. So I guess but.
Another asks why more low-hanging fruit is not used for naming purposes, given that there are towns in Cornwall called Flushing and Loo. The Cook and Lewis toilet, also sold by the store on Unclears, is called Helston, while the Cornish capital of Truro lends its name to another Loo on clearance of £45. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think you'd be a little bit more angry about it? I mean, maybe they just haven't. I mean, this story is from the Metro, obviously, so they haven't had. They don't do their homework clearly, like to find out what people's responses are, because the responses was about the toilet itself. It was like, well, what about the people who live there, knowing that a toilet's been named after their town? Surely they're going to be a bit upset about it. That you want to hear their responses. So.
Mad Monk says, just for clarification, that all English people sound the same to me. Okay. Aki says Scotland is the most woke country in the entire universe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No need to be flush to buy a bombing bog then. Well done to Larry Cat. Fantastic.
Oh dear.
Ben Shaw says, been listening while walking a pooch, took 5 minutes for any feeling in my fingers to come back. Oh, hope you're alright. Evening to all again. Great result for Stockport. Come on. Yes. Notice else he says, nice little town in Hants called Piddle-on-Trent. Nice. That would have been a good one for a toilet.
Chatty Rad said, people of Bolden think it's a machine for washing potatoes.
All 6 of them on both feet. Oh dear.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh, very good chatty rat.
Charles says, naming a toilet
dear.
is a very confusing and strange notice. It is, especially after a place. Oh, God. Anyway.
Are you saying the people at Bowden are browned off about this, says Larry the Cat?
I don't know. Well, it kind of makes out that they were happy about it, and then it kind of makes out that they were annoyed about it. But I think people just complaining about the quality of the toilet. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was just like, I mean, you would think, yeah, is this town anywhere near state?
It looks like, I'll be honest with you, it looks like the type
very
of toilet.
Good, Daily Blase, very good.
What did you say? Oh, sorry, what was that? Are you saying that people bombing browned off about? Oh God, yes, very good. Is this town anywhere near stains? Yes. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Beast of a bog. Is a town going down the drain or something? Says Zhao. Hi Zhao. Could this be a Yuletide log story? Says Larry the Cat.
It could be. It could be.
This is the story that it's just like a gift that just gives, keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is interesting.
You'll have to read this because I can't get the article up.
Oh right, okay, right.
Yeah.
So, London
This
Underground
is
passenger.
good, guys. You will love this. I'm just telling you now. You only need to see the picture. Never mind the headline. The picture will speak for itself.
I'm going to tease it.
Take it away, Lee.
London Underground passenger mocked after attempting to fit massive wardrobe onto train. Other passengers can be seen trying to help, but to no avail. I mean, what the hell are they trying to do with that?
There you go, guys.
Look out. Major wardrobe malfunction, someone joked. From a fake baby to a full bird of prey, you might think you've seen it all on the London Underground. But the latest spotted on the tube has come up with something new. A Londoner trying to fit a full-size wardrobe on an overground line train. Video which surfaced on Twitter yesterday, shows a woman attempting to push a trolley with a wooden wardrobe inside through the doors of a train, but struggles to get it even remotely through the door. Other passengers can be seen trying to help, but to no avail. This is immense. The guy trying to help who's adding absolutely nothing. A new excuse for a delayed train, one person said after watching the video. It appears to show the woman completely giving up trying. Let's just have a look at the video.
There's a video. Oh, this will be good.
It just almost fits. Just tilt it. Take it off the trolley.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
Put it sideways.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
London, ladies and gentlemen, London.
Oh my God. Literally, like, you would just, like, in all seriousness, like, if you really had to get that on the train, like, just, you're in that situation there where you're trying to do it and people are trying to help. I would have said, yeah, can you guys help me lift it onto the train?
Yeah.
The only problem is that you got to somehow make the train driver wait 10 minutes for you to get it off the train and on the back on the trolley.
Look, all they have to do is lift it off. There's enough people to lift it and turn it, put it back on the trolley, sideways, lengthways. It'll fit. But no. Someone said, that's quite the wardrobe. I saw that. Plot twist, there are 7 people in the wardrobe without a ticket. Unbeknownst to the guard stood next to him. There you go.
God.
Joe says, me here thinking I've seen weird things on the tube.
No, you have not seen the weirdest things.
We Scott's dog said that wardrobe saved a fortune on the cost of a family fare. Yeah. Duke Vengeance says, in years of lifting up furniture, that's quite possibly the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Kendra says, know the story, almost fits, but then just doesn't. Yeah.
They're off their trolley, says number 3.
Yes,
Too
that's
right,
the
they're
one.
off their trolley.
Number 3. That's the one, winner. Number 3 is the winner.
Nice.
I've seen some things. 2 guys dressed like Freddie Mercury in Pretty Little Thing called Love Singing. Okay.
Oh dear.
Nobody else says, and people try to help. That's sweet. To be honest, not expecting that in London Underground. Yeah.
Did they manage to get to their destination? Does it say at the bottom?
It says it just says that they it looked like they gave up. Oh, hang on a sec. No, it was more. Others question the practicalities of how this London Overground passenger even managed to get this far. Presumably had to go through a ticket barrier down some stairs to get to. You think about it, how the hell have they got to that?
No, it was surely. I was going to say if it fits in the lift, because normally, like if something's that tall, normally you put it at an angle. So I'm assuming that he managed to get in the lift, like rather than the stairs.
Well, it looks like there's stairs there, so I don't know. Maybe there is a lift. What station was
it? Most underground and overground stations do have lifts and disability access. Not all of them, but most of them do.
There's a good few inches of clearance there. There is if you do take the trolley off or you tilt the thing sideways. I mean, there's space. There's space on it there to tilt it sideways. But
I just feel sorry for the people on that train who just want to get to their destination, whether it's to work, from work, going home, whatever, and they have to put up with this. And if you had one of those days and then this happens, it is just compounding. I mean, we laugh, but if you're in that situation, you're not.
I'm not on that train, so I can laugh. But yeah, brilliant. Oh dear, there are some people in this world. Is that like Dunning-Kruger effect? Is it where they think they know?
By the way, guys, just in case if you haven't seen, I've seen it on TikTok. There's a guy dressed as a shark costume. He's been roaming around London. I have no idea what his purpose is, but he's just doing it just because he can. No reason at all. Just dressed as a shark, just going around London. And people are looking at him like, what an absolute weirdo.
I just going back to that. I mean, it kind of reminds me, when you see people trying to put like the square block into the round hole or the triangular hole. They should just keep jamming it against. It will go in. It will go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 says, "You ever wanted evidence of how important education is? This is it." As long as it's just trying to steal a trolley, maybe.
You're right, Zola. You're right. That trolley was probably stolen.
Oh dear. He says it.
Allegedly.
Just disassemble it and carry it. It looked like it was quite an old. It was definitely not like an IKEA piece of furniture, like flat pack that you could take apart and put together again. I don't think.
Yeah, normally they have. It's when you take stuff home like that, it's all flat packed, isn't it? But obviously, I think they might got a second, third hand or something. Wait, it's an IKEA advert, isn't it?
Yeah, don't try and get it on the tube. Just take a flat pack home. But, yeah.
The perfect. This is what they should do. IKEA put this in their advert to say, take it as a flat pack.
Number 3 says it must be Reggae Shark. I think like the guy you were talking about.
Yeah, I think it is Reggae Shark.
Yeah. Shell says weirdos make.
I don't know his name. I just see the clips on TikTok. Yeah. So.
Right, it's 8 minutes past 10, so we've already run over by 8 minutes. So.
Yes, but we've done a lot better than we did last week. We did not want to go too far.
We weren't trying to squeeze that loads of stuff in. Last week we got a bit over the top.
Done.
But we got. I'll let you do the old.
Yeah. So guys, big thank you everybody who's come along today for the show. Really appreciate it. If you guys can on your way out, hit the like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. If you can as well, if you can share this across other social media platforms, just to help us get more eyes on the product, that would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you can hit the bell notification icon there, so you'll be notified of when we go live. Normally, it's every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, but it can potentially change. So far, we've been able to run a show every Wednesday 9 o'clock since we started this. We only had one show where I couldn't attend, and Marcus Allshort stepped in for us, which we always greatly appreciated, giving up his time to come on for us. So thank you guys for that. And also, we also have a free Discord server, which you guys are more than welcome to join us on. where we have games nights every once a week. We also running movie nights as well. And last Monday we had our first little music night we had, where we were sharing each other's favorite musics and songs with each other, which was pretty awesome as well. So we've got a lot going on the Discord server as well. And again, guys, it's completely free. If you're new to Discord, come check it out. I was new to Discord a few years ago, and now I run our own server. So yeah, it's don't cost you a penny, no money, no ads on the server, anything like that. It's just a place for us all to come together and hang out, basically.
Yeah, I'll get the link for the Snowflake server. Don't leave just yet, because I've got one more thing to do to show you. But I will get that link. Well, I'll put that on while watching the next bit. So
yeah,
as Regan said,
if you don't get the link here in the chat, you can always check in. It's on the channel description, the link for the Discord server as well, guys.
Yeah,
and you can always download it onto your device, and it's easy to access on your mobile device if you are not using a computer as well. So it's very easy to access Discord, guys.
Yeah. Right, we'll leave you with this. Thanks for coming. If you're going to come to the Discord server, we have the after show chat. I'll put a link in there. And if not, or don't forget, tomorrow it is Wear Your Christmas Jumper to Work Day for Save the Children, so you can donate. I'll put a link in the chat there if you want to. I'll put it on the thing after.
Yeah. Well. We don't need money. Both me and Lee work full time, so if you guys have got money that if you can help save the children, we would greatly appreciate that.
So we'll leave you with this. And hopefully we'll see you later. If not, we'll see you here next week. Did we say we might be a bit late next week?
We may be a bit late. Obviously, we'll let you guys know if we run it a bit later.
Yeah, it might be about 9:15. But if we'll send out before. But we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we will notify you guys if need be. But have a great week, everyone.
Right,
and we'll see you on the Discord server. If not, we'll see you guys next week.
Okay,
Take care and goodbye.
400 suicides every year, more than one a day. The cause is clear. The gambling industry is to blame. Failure to regulate is a national shame because their powers are not restricted. They target people already addicted. 86% of profits can be traced to just 5% of their customer base. Lots of these profits are moved overseas, so they don't pay tax to HMRC. Lost bets cost $14 billion a year. The economic damage done is costing us dear. To place a bet now online is the way you can lose money 24 hours a day. The law hasn't changed for 17 years, since 2 years before the first iPhone appeared. There are some simple things we can do to protect, like state limits and affordability checks. We could stop gambling normalizing by banning direct marketing and advertising. But as betting companies' profits rocket, every one of these MPs is in their pocket.
They don't just give hospitality to the Tories. For these Labour MPs, it's the same story.
We're all letting down and forgetting the 1.4 million addicted to betting. We haven't done anything to regulate yet. We might still do it. Do you want to bet?
If you've ever played roulette, you'll know
Strap me after an
if you bet on red
for gambling. Look at the irony of that. Night, guys.
Good night.